What's up guys, we're back with another episode of British Guy Reacts, the place where we give honest reactions, not overreactions. We're back with NASCAR. It's been a little while since we've done anything NASCAR related. This is the top 10 most heated confrontations in NASCAR history. So I'm expecting a little bit of fisticuffs, you know. Drivers get heated, same in F1. It's an intense sport, right? When you're in the vehicle, everything is amplified. Any minor incident is amplified into a major incident because it's a dangerous sport. So I understand why the guys get heated. let's check out the video and see how heated they get.
There's a punch, a swing.
We're straight in with punches.
This is not Ultimate Fighting on Fox. This is NASCAR on Fox.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most heated confrontations in NASCAR.
KENSETH approached Gordon. KENSETH walked over to Gordon's car with his palms out, his arms open, as if to talk about it.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most heated moments between NASCAR drivers. Which fighter scuffle got you up from your seat? Be sure to let us know in the comments. Number 10, Denny Hamlin versus Joey Logano. These two got into a big shoving match following a conversation. At the first Data 500 at the Martinsville Speedway in 2019, Joey Logano was angry at Denny Hamlin for pulling an in-race move, which resulted in the former hitting a wall and getting a tire cut.
A lot of damage to Joey Logano. He's going to go up into the wall.
Hold the brake, hold the brake, hold the brake.
He confronted him about it.
You just squeezed him out there, though. Was there much wrong with that? Let me have a look. I'm not a NASCAR guy, but I do watch a lot of motorsport.
2019, Joey Logano was angry at Denny Hamlin for pulling an in-race move, which resulted in the former hitting a wall and getting a tire cut.
A lot of damage to Joey Logano. He's going to go up into the wall.
Hold the brake, hold the brake.
I don't know the rules, but I didn't see much
He
wrong
confronted him about it, and while the conversation was initially civil, things turned sour quickly. According to Hamlin, Logano asked him if he wanted to fight, then proceeded to push him and run away.
Hey, stop, stop, stop.
Oh!
Hamlin was not having it. A fracas ensued between the drivers. Fortunately, Hamlin's team was there to ensure things didn't escalate any further, but still, what was Logano thinking trying to challenge Hamlin alone when he's surrounded by his whole team?
That's Joey. It's scared. He said,
You say, what's he thinking? These guys don't care, man. The racing drivers, they're crazy. They're a different breed. They're not scared of anything. They're happy to fight. We got in YouTuber boxing, influencer boxing. Let's get some NASCAR drivers in the ring.
want to go? I said, yes, I'm here. But then he runs away, so.
Number 9, Jeff Gordon versus Jeff Burton.
Oh no, and Jeff Gordon.
Battle of the Jeffs.
Where in the world?
A collision took place on the track between these two at the 2010 AAA Texas 500. Though he stated that it was not intentional, Jeff Burton's vehicle had collided with that of Jeff Gordon's.
Man, that's devastating for these two. Dadgum, look at this car's destroyed.
Gordon was so furious that he immediately proceeded to exit his vehicle to attack Burton. A physical confrontation ensued between the two drivers.
And they're gonna go and talk it out here. Oh,
No talking.
Well, we've got a fight breaking out. Yeah, Jeff's not happy. Jeff Gordon not happy with what happened there.
They were eventually separated by officials. Interestingly enough, both men were forced to ride in the same ambulance together. We can't help but wonder what that must have been like.
Both of them now will make the mandatory ride to the infield care center.
So
I don't know if I'd put them in the same ambulance. This could be fun for the officials.
You're just going to see the ambulance start
Number 8,
shaking.
Kevin Harvick versus Greg Biffle. At the Bristol Motor Speedway, a near collision resulted in Kevin Harvick losing control of his vehicle and crashing.
Somebody gets into the back of him here, boots him. Biffle in the yikes. Yikes.
Harvick was not happy about it.
You know, I always said Greg Biffle was a good guy, but he's about the most impatient thing. I'll be waiting when he comes in here.
He patiently waited for Biffle, and when the opportunity came, he pounced.
Where did he come from then? He jumped from the top of the car.
When he comes in here.
He patiently waited for Biffle, and when the opportunity came,
like
he pounced.
Khabib.
No punches were thrown, but the way Harvick comes in out of nowhere, swooping in like a hawk in the middle of Biffle's interview and going right in his face is downright funny. It wouldn't be their last heated encounter either, as the two would have another run-in with each other years later in Martinsville. But this initial confrontation would be the beginning of what would become a heated rivalry between the two. Number 7.
If you are enjoying these videos, please click the subscribe button down below. 87% of you still aren't subscribed, and it only takes a second. Cheers.
7. Matt Kenseth versus Brad Keselowski. At the Bank of America 500 in 2014, both of these drivers were involved in a collision which also inadvertently involved several other drivers. Keselowski had come into contact with a number of vehicles during the cool-down lap of the race.
And while doing that, Keselowski runs into the back of Tony Stewart, so then this.
Alright, you can't crash in the cool-down. Yo.
After the incident, KENSETH took a page from Harvick's book and went full stealth mode. He expressed his displeasure with Keselowski by sneaking up right behind him and attempting to tackle him.
Well, more.
Don't like that. Come on, man.
That's Matt Kenseth.
He got a hold of him, and a scuffle between both teams ensued. It took a while for the altercation to break up, but who knew NASCAR drivers could also be experts in sneak attacks? Number 6, Daniel Suarez versus Michael McDowell. During a qualifying race, Michael McDowell held up Daniel Suarez, and a spotter for the latter urged him to retaliate.
He killed me in one corner. I thought he was going to get out of the way in the second corner, and he didn't.
After that, Suarez jumped on the brakes and stayed on the racetrack until the last second, where McDowell was then forced to exit.
We all kind of waited till the end, and then you just had a lot of traffic, so just unfortunate. You know, he was upset. I held him up on his good lap, and then he tried to crash us, and I just didn't appreciate it.
Both drivers were knocked out of the race. In the aftermath, Suarez climbed from his vehicle and marched over to the pit stall looking for McDowell. McDowell was ready and grabbed him by the throat. Suarez then threw a
Again, one guy's wearing a helmet. I don't rate it. Come on, man.
punch, and both drivers shortly thereafter went to the ground. Crew members rushed to the scene. Suarez was pushed on the hood of McDowell's car, and McDowell tried to get after him by pulling him off it. It was a hectic encounter, to say the least.
I don't know what it is. The guy with the headset on, though.
When finally they calmed down and talked it over.
Number 5, Jeff Gordon versus Brad Keselowski. The collision between these two drivers resulted in Jeff Gordon's vehicle spinning with a flat tire, falling a lap down and finishing in 29th place.
Gordon spinning, turn 4. Caution is out. We'll have another attempt at a green light checker.
Shortly after the race, Gordon tracked Keselowski down to exchange some words.
Oh, it's just
he stopped his car next to Keselowski's, climbed out, and went right over to have a chat with him. But things really escalated and got out of hand when Keselowski was nudged from behind by Kevin Harvick. Several punches were thrown. The brawl resulted in Gordon and
these guys here throwing cheap shots to the back of people's heads. Yo.
Several punches were thrown. The brawl resulted in Gordon and Keselowski having cuts on their lips.
This guy in the black. Sort yourself out, mate.
Number 4, Tony Stewart versus Joey Logano. On the final restart of the Auto Club 400 Sprint Cup race, Joey Logano blocked Tony Stewart, who was leading 18 laps and could have run up. Stewart was furious and ended up finishing the race in 22nd place. After the race, he ran over to Logano's vehicle to give him his peace of mind. Shoving ensued and some punches were thrown. A water bottle was even thrown. But before it could get too out of hand, the drivers were separated.
Tony, what angered you at the end of the race? What did you take issue with?
What the hell do you think I was mad about? Dumb little runs us clear down to the infield. He wants to about everybody else, and he's the one that drives like a little I'm gonna bust his ass.
Logano felt what he did was justified.
I'm gonna bust his
Stewart
ass.
clearly was not having any of it. And boy, did he let him know. Number 3, Jeff Gordon versus Clint Boyer.
Jeff, man. Jeff's a dangerous.
The cruiser
in.
After both of these drivers took each other out during a NASCAR Cup Series race, Boyer was not too pleased.
Turning Clint Boyer into the wall, collecting Joey Logano.
His response? To sprint through the garage area to find Gordon and directly confront him. Boyer's anger is evident based on the way in which he memorably ran towards Gordon. But before he could even face him, Gordon would get jumped by Boyer's crew. Both of the drivers' crews eventually got into it and punches were thrown.
And somewhere in the middle of that is Jeff Gordon.
Oddly enough, Boyer wouldn't even be able to reach Gordon, so they never actually got to duke it out with one another. The only thing stranger than that is that both men have gone to work together at Fox Sports and seem to get along just fine. Sort of.
There's your side and there's my side. And then my side's right. Then there's the truth. Your side is literally out of your mind.
Number 2, Darrell Waltrip versus Rusty Wallace. Both drivers were fighting for the lead during NASCAR's All-Star race in 1989. The two cars crashed, with Waltrip spinning out of control, while Wallace was able to slide past the finish line for the win.
Son of a gun, if he didn't bump me just enough to get me around. Of course, I spun down the front off of 4 and down in the grass, and that scoundrel, he went on and won the race.
Afterwards, 2 members from each of the respective drivers' crews got into it, and then all hell broke loose at the pit. The result of the incident? A fight involving numerous people, of course, perhaps the most in any fight on this list. Speaking on Wallace's win, WALTRIP said, "I hope he chokes on that $200,000. Yikes.
We wanted him to put us back where we were, because he spun us out. So we at least wanted to be, if it really wanted to be a good Winston, they should have put me in second place.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Greg Biffle versus Jay Sauter. After they crashed, Biffle punched Sauter while he was still in his car.
Got a helmet on. It's not going to hurt. You're just going to hurt your fist, mate.
Cole Custer versus John Hunter Nemechek. What a tackle.
Oh, now we got Cole Custer and Nemechek. Cole Custer did not like the way that race ended.
Kyle Busch versus Joey Logano. Judging by the way he strut, Busch knew exactly what he wanted to do. Bubba Wallace versus Kyle Larson. Never turn away from Bubba Wallace. Ever.
Bubba.
Clint Boyer versus Ryan Newman. Boyer is back at it again.
Boyer and Newman going at it.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring
Go
the
and
bell
check
to
out
get
Watch
notified
Mojo.
about our
We've got a
latest
lot of good
videos.
compilations
You have
like
the
this.
option to be notified for occasional videos or all
Subscribe
of
to
them.
my
if you're
channel
on
as
your
well.
phone, make sure you
Turn
go
the
into your
notification
settings
bells
and
on if you
switch
want.
on notifications.
But you also don't have to, you know.
Number 1,
Do what you
Donnie
want.
Allison versus Cale Yarborough. These legendary drivers were vying for first place at the Daytona 500 in 1979, and they were neck and neck racing to pass the finish line.
It's all come down to this. Out of turn 2, Donnie Allison in first. Where will Cale make his move? He comes to the inside.
Sounds
Donnie
so
Allison
nice.
throws the block. Cale hits him. He slides. Donnie
Got the
Allison.
grass.
They drive into the turn. They're hitting the wall. They're head on the wall.
They eventually made contact, crashed, and slid. On the track, they wasted no time getting into it. After an exchange of words, the gloves were off. Yarborough even got a shot at Allison using his helmet.
The temper's overflowing. They're angry. They know they have lost. And what a bitter defeat.
Although not nearly as rowdy or wild as some of the other brawls on this list, the circumstances that led to it taking place, the stage it was set in, and the drivers involved put NASCAR on notice, and its popularity skyrocketed.
Yeah, put NASCAR on the map. I mean, that's basically what drew the attention and, you know, made everybody then tune in to what was going to come next and what all these hooligans that race in circles are all about.
Did you enjoy this video?
I did enjoy the video, and I will check out some more Watch Mojo videos. If you enjoyed the video, go and check out Watch Mojo, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment down below on what you'd like to see in the future. Some of these confrontations were heated. I did enjoy it, I'm not going to lie. We don't really get anything like that in F1. It's kind of it's a rich boys game, and there's a bit more, I don't want to say a bit more class like I'm putting NASCAR down, but I don't know how else to say it. It'd be frowned upon heavily if it was to escalate to this level. Especially teams fighting. Michael Schumacher got into it a bit. A few of the fighters get angry. Hamilton's done a bit where he throws his hat at somebody. It's just minor things in F1. This was crazy. Hockey vibes, but I enjoyed it. I'm here for it. Like I said, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. I'll see you for the next one. Take it easy. Peace.